We will stand by the values which are shared by the overwhelming majority of those in this Council, in this United Nations. And we ask you today to stand by us.
We take no pleasure in having to constantly criticize Russia, but we need Russia to stop giving us so many reasons to do so. Russia must fully cooperate with the UK's investigation and come clean about its own chemical weapons program.
But I can think of a number of countries who would benefit a great deal from this incident and accusing Russia of it. What do you think? What could be the motivation that the Prime Minister of UK is using that Russia could have for the attempt on Sergei Skripal, who, after the investigation, after he served his sentence, then pardoned and given over to the British, was no longer of any kind of threat to my country. But he is a perfect victim, which could justify any unthinkable lie, any kind of dirt, or any kind of black PR tarnishing Russia. We have stated many a time that anything along those lines, any kind of a provocation before a certain events could happen. And today we're witnessing the fact that the authorities of the UK are consciously trying to tarnish Russia, stooping to any low. Arthur Conan Doyle, the British classic, the fame for his country and very popular in Russia, has a series of stories about Sherlock Holmes, and he has a hapless character in those stories, Inspector Lestrade from Scotland Yard. He doesn't have the method of deduction. He's not particularly smart. His role is to be the background for the extraordinary detective powers of Sherlock Holmes. Lestrade latches on something that is on the surface of a crime and is in a hurry to provide banal conclusions, only to be overturned by Sherlock Holmes, who always finds what is behind the crime and what is the motive for it. Of course, I am not trying to say that those who work in Scotland Yard today are not professional. God guard me from that. But I do think that we could all stand to benefit from having a Sherlock Holmes with us today. But the collective Inspector Lestrade today are the high-level members of the UK government who are coming up with egregious, superficial and unsupported accusations, which have far-reaching consequences. Russia calls upon the officials of the UK to give up on the imperial practices which belong in the 19th century, give up on ultimatums and threats and unsupported accusations, give up with their colonial habits, and get back to the area which is governed by law.